Ultimate Karens. Oh my god, yeah, they are the Karens. I mean, for God's sake, that haircut. It's the pinnacle of all Karen haircuts. Why? Why do they all look the same? Karen Glazier says, Karen jokes aren't funny anymore. No, they'll always be funny, and you can thank South Park for keeping that joke going until the end of time now. Thanks, Randy. In the early 1900s, Marshall Field's department store hired professional scapegoats, or fired men, whose only job was to take the blame and be fired to appease disgruntled customers. Aw, dude, I'd be so good at that. 1 star from Karen. Best food I've ever had, but the driver was rude. 1 star. I love that that's the default Karen image. Dear Yelp, stop letting Karens kill restaurants because of third-party delivery app issues. It's not the restaurant's fault. Sign the petition to make Yelp change. KarensKillerReviews.com. I'd sign that petition. Also, can we get rid of Yelp entirely? Google reviews themselves do more than fine. Hell, it's the only place I look for actual reviews. And Yelp acts like the goddamn mafia, so screw them. I want a reality show where people who don't tip have to work a double at the restaurant with a huge outdoor patio during brunch on the first nice day of the year. What was your best "you're speaking to the manager right now" moment? Friend of mine. She was getting chewed out over something or other. Finally, the woman loudly demanded to see the manager. So she shrugged and got the manager. The manager comes out all confused. Angry woman demands my friend get fired. Manager's very confused. But ma'am, I can't do that. She's the owner. Markings on a Ward Parkway drain since March. Is this a symbol of gang territory? What's the best way to clean or safely remove? Well, these here are utility markings. You can contact these folks about work being done in the area. God, people make the dumbest assumptions. To Karens claiming they can't wear a mask, I have a bullet wound through my lung. I love people who claimed they couldn't. I mean, sure, there were a lot of people that for sure, I'm certain, had some legitimate reasons, but we're not getting into that here today. We're talking about Karens. Anyone minding their own business. Karens. And I took that personally. People who wear glasses watching Karens complain about the minor inconveniences of wearing a mask. Just heard an American woman angrily tell an airport employee, if you don't speak English, then why are you working here? Ma'am, you're in Shanghai, China. If the people who call everyone else sheep could stop taking livestock medication, that'd be great. Tried my new mask argument with a taxi driver. Wasn't wearing one and was angry about mine. I like the anonymity, I said. We're the most surveilled country on earth. They're listening to us through our phones to sell us shit. I don't want to be watched. Put his mask on. Out crazied. Boom. Gotcha. When the waiter forgets one sauce packet. When her kid wrecks the restaurant. Well, fucking love it, man. Doesn't get me mad at all. I want my fiance to get rid of his 5-year-old daughter. Hello, relationship rules. Please keep me anonymous. I need some advice from your followers. My 32-year-old fiance has a 5-year-old daughter. Her mother passed away when she was giving birth to her. He's been raising her ever since he lost his wife, with the help of his family, of course. I'm now in the picture, and we're going to get married in 2023, and I'm 6 months pregnant with his son. I'm not the stepmother type, so I won't treat his daughter the same way I'll treat our son. To be quite honest, she annoys me. She looks exactly like her mother, so she constantly reminds my fiance of his dead wife, and she's very attached to her daddy. I'm not gonna read this anymore because whether or not this is bait, this is just a yikers from me. If it's not bait and this is indeed a real post, I could say a lot of things about you, but I can't really here. We gotta keep the ads running. Karen decides that children's fun isn't enough of a reason to have a treehouse. Dear anonymous passerby, don't worry, you're safe now. Your act of casual cruelty was successful. The complaint you lodged with the HOA was heard. They made me take down the tree fort I built on this location with my sons during the pandemic. No longer will its presence offend your walk past my house. Please enjoy your stroll free from the sound of my children's play and laughter. They're safely back inside now, watching television, I'm sure. Enjoy the unobstructed view of my backyard. I'll try to keep it up to code. Homeowners associations are useless and should be outlawed countrywide. Change my goddamn mind. As a matter of fact, don't even bother trying to change my mind. There's no argument for them. Them. GOP state senator made to sit in plexiglass box after refusing to mask up. Aw, do I give a shit? I'd like to speak to the manager and the police. I'd like to speak to the police manager. Good God, that image. Okay. Dear every cashier in America, the proper response to thank you is you're welcome, not no problem, and you're supposed to thank me. Tom, eat your own asshole. I'm sorry to the editors of this video, but you guys want Angry Robin. This is the best sub to give him if that's... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to refer to myself in the third person. You want me angry? Oh, you get me angry. I'm gonna punch Tom right in the jejunum.
Millennials are so entitled.
Actually, the "you're welcome, no problem" issue is a simple linguistics misunderstanding. Older people tend to say you're welcome. Younger people tend to say no problem. This is because for older people, the act of helping or asiating? I'm sorry, that word tripped me up. Someone is seen as a task that's not expected of them, but is them doing it extra. So it's saying, I accept your thanks because I know I deserve it. No problem, however, is used because younger people feel not only that helping or assisting someone is a given and expected, but also that it should be stressed that your need for help was no burden to them, even if it was. Basically, older people think help is a gift you give. Younger people think help is an expectation required of them. But at the end of the day, yuck. Tom, calling out Karens in the local paper. Responsibility, price of rights. You can't make me, they say. Do you smoke inside buildings? No. Do you wear a seatbelt? Yes. Do you stop at red lights and stop signs? Yes. Why? Because the government makes laws for public safety and because decent people in civilized society shall respect and care for fellow human beings, even if it's not the law. You can't make me is the response a young child having a tantrum makes to their parents who are trying to teach them to be responsible, good, caring people. These people never, ever, ever taught their children to be responsible. No, they didn't. You can't prove otherwise. I had a really unfortunate encounter with a mother today who was adamant C-sections were bad somehow, and she goes, it's not real delivery. And I'm so sorry to the collective whole of society because all I could think to say was, well, what the fuck is it, DiGiorno? We're giving children free healthcare. We're giving them free food, free emotional support. That's dangerous. That's communism when you think about it. Fox News guest, children don't deserve free food because that's communism. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. There are so many things I want to f***ing say. There's so many things I want to say about how f***ing disgusting this sub is. Or not the sub. The content, I'm sorry. And again, apologies to the editors for all the naughty words they've got to worry about. We got to keep the ads running. Oh, I hate this. Have you ever been to a restaurant that does not give you the change when you pay with cash? My bill, $47.20. I gave the waitress $100 and she only gave me back $53. I called over the manager, which was our waitress. She said we usually don't carry change. I told her to give me my $100 back and I'll pay with a credit card. 80 cents would not kill me, but it's the principle. If they do this to everyone that pays cash over a year, that could be a lot of money in their pocket. I'd redo your math. To accommodate anti-maskers, we've provided this space away from everyone else where you can stare at your reflection since apparently you're the only person you care about. Yeah, and they wear that with pride. Statue honoring those brave men and women who refuse to wear a mask. Well, now that a lot of them are gone, yeah. A lady just sat down and the first thing out of her mouth was, I'll get a water, no ice, because I doubt you're following regulations with your ice. And it was in that moment that I realized Karens have been reloaded with a whole new set of ammunition. Ellen DeGeneres reportedly once called Steve Jobs to complain about her iPhone. She just lives in an incredibly privileged bubble. Knowing how big a Steve was, if this was even remotely true, Steve would have whooped her ass. I'm sorry. Verbally, of course, over the phone. The dude was a prick 24/7. He dreamed about beating up lower class citizens. He would have whooped Ellen's ass, dude. Come on, don't even. To the individual who stole the bike previously here, if you have a shred of decency, you'll return it with a new lock and reevaluate your life choices. Hey, bozo, it's illegal to lock up your bike to a handicap pole. Check with the city for your bike. They probably removed it so it would not block a wheelchair-accessible van. Bitch. We survived a pandemic. We'll survive your Yelp review. Again, gotta get rid of Yelp. Luke, help me take this mask off. But you'll die. I have rights. The fact that some people go to a restaurant and treat the staff like is f***ing ridiculous. You chose to go out to eat. If you feel the need to be rude while you're waiting for your food, stay the f*** home and yell at your microwave. I really hope he did say that, Karen. If you don't study, you'll end up like him, the construction worker who makes 3 times her salary. Today in New Zealand, our kids can go back to school because we have a compassionate government and we listen to science. The biggest flex of 2020, to be honest. Knock it off. Stop. We're doing the best we can with the staff we have. They're busy getting screamed at or cleaning up body fluids from teen TikTok trends. It is not the government causing this problem, it is customers making it impossible to work in the service industry. Would you wait on you for a 5% tip? You're welcome to go elsewhere if this hurts your feelings. Thanks to those who chose to be kind. It's literally not hard. When seatbelts were first introduced in 1968, there were idiots who insisted they infringed on their freedoms and would physically cut them out of their cars. We make fun of those people now. Can you guess who we'll be making fun of in 2072? Military spouse counts as service now. My friend is hiring for his company, and his resume came in. Military spouse. She's dead serious. LMAO. Branch, U.S. Navy. Rank, military spouse. Yikes. Is that not like slightly illegal to do? I don't think stolen valor's really illegal, but there's just something weird about that. Found on my car. Karen offended by my I love DNC license plate? Dance. Gotcha. You love DNC? Good to know there's a God-hating baby killer in the neighborhood. I'm shocked you're not driving an environment-killing electric vehicle, you fucking... Don't want to get yelled at on Twitter for that not being blurred again. Or bleeped, sorry. What does that mean, environment-killing electric vehicle? Karen Halloween costume sparks backlash among No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It didn't. No, shut up, dude. No, it did not. Passenger. Why should I have to wear a mask if yours works? Driver. Damn, good point. Turns off headlights. What are you doing? It's dark. Chill, the other cars have them on, bro. Aliens watching another episode of Show Earth. Mask it or casket, Karen. South Park is always right. Our soccer ref didn't show up, so one of the moms on our team had her 9-year-old son ref for us. He had a whistle. And a completely adult woman on the other team argued with one of his calls, and he yellow carded her in front of everyone, and she had to go sit in her car to calm down. I hope that worked. Me and this little old Mexican lady were talking in Spanish, and this old white bitch in a wheelchair said, "We're in America. Why don't you speak English?" And the little Mexican lady told her, "You have legs. Why don't you walk?" I nearly died. I gave her free coffee. Me speaks a foreign language to my friend in a coffee shop, Karen. This is America. Man, that statement could not mean less. Actually, no, it couldn't mean more. It means so much, yet so little. Freedom of speech isn't freedom from repercussions. That's why everyone who works retail doesn't tell you to go f yourself. Ooh, they're getting closer every day, and I am all for it the day they let loose. I'll keep observing Columbus Day, thanks. What do you do to observe Columbus Day? Get lost in a grocery store looking for spices? Fact. If the Earth was no, that's not even remotely true. To anyone wondering, that's not true. The Earth's orbit is elliptical, and the distance from the Sun varies from around 147 million kilometers to 152 million kilometers on any given year. Every star has a habitable zone that is affected by the size of the star and its intensity. Well, I won't read the rest of that. I mean, I feel like we've seen some math before, right? Okay, that's cool and all, but don't ever comment on my status telling me that I'm wrong ever again. I didn't ask you, did I? Answer? No. You're right, there was no question asked on your part. However, you posted on a public forum a dumb f***ing not at all true fact, as you put it. So the sheer arrogance that someone correcting you is bad, don't even get me started. We have names for toxic people, Karen, Kyle, etc. This is a petition to make Steve the official name for wholesome people. Okay, what about the wholesome women though? Steve is the wholesome dude, who's the wholesome woman, right? And no, it's not gonna be Molly. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it right now. What's Karen? You probably just lost a lot of followers for this one. Stick to comedy. Hey, you, Karen. Really? Jim's badass. Shut up, Karen. Here's the game my son wants. I'm going to ignore these stickers saying it's for adults and become outraged when I see adult content. Some moms don't even know how to read. Karen. People need to stop calling me a Karen. It's so offensive. Me. That's fine. We'll go back to what we used to call you. Thank you. You're welcome. Again, third time, I'd like to apologize to the editors. I'm making their life a hell today. This was on Adult Swim last night. Adult Swim may contain absurd material some Karens might not find suitable. That's Adult Swim for you. Lovely welcome on my way to Burton this morning. Note, sarcasm. That's /R to you, Karen. It's getting ridiculous now, and the people responsible for this should be fired immediately. It's 100% unacceptable. I put my complaint into your council. Go back to SWAD, you idiots. We're supposed to be in lockdown. Do you want to speak to a manager, Karen? Oh! I love them. At Dollar General, this boomer started at the cashier because the card reader thing froze up, and I said, hey, give her a break, it's not her fault. Then when she started at me, everyone in line started yelling at her, and she left in tears, and it made me happy. Good. You don't have a goddamn right to abuse random people because you feel they're beneath you or because you've been having a rough day. It absolutely gives you zero right to verbally or physically in any way abuse or make anybody else feel uncomfortable, whether they're someone close to you or not. You shut your mouth and you talk to a therapist or a close one to let that steam off. Don't you ever harm somebody else emotionally because you're a jackass. People say Karens are entitled, but we're not, insists Karen, who started a petition and went on live TV to complain about people using the name Karen facetiously in what's perhaps the most Karen thing any Karen has ever Karened. Interesting letter received today. Let's see. From the desk of a former long-time customer. Okay. Subject, no longer a customer. Whoa. I've been a customer since the 1980s when I first obtained my driver's license. If I were to add up the monetary number of all the hard-shell tacos consumed, it would be in the thousands of dollars. I visited your store recently to purchase 3 hard shells, being informed my bill would be over $5. I asked the female to repeat the cost. I said no thanks. I departed, making no purchase. I recall paying 69 cents for this poor Mexican street food. I am done. No longer a customer, the price is ridiculous. I did not vote for Florida Amendment 2 in 2020. I do not agree with paying a minimum of $15 hourly for a 16-year-old kid, much less a 30-year-old adult, to toss some lettuce, cheese, and ground beef into a cheap corn-fried shell. Sorry for your loss, but my gain. Wow, that's the saddest thing in the world, because the only person it's really hurting is you. You're denying yourself something that you've spent thousands of dollars on since the 1980s. Something you enjoyed so much, you went all the time. You knew the price. You kept a goddamn receipt from back then. You've got a receipt from 1999. You loved this place so much. But because it was, what is that, $2 more in total, you're denying yourself something you loved. Oh well, no one cares. Honey, come look, I found some information all the world's top scientists and doctors missed. Oh, that's a Hollywood story for you. When church is over and you're on your way to verbally assault a waitress. Yeah, I worked at IHOP. Sunday was the Black Death of days every week. I demand absolute censorship of the K word on Twitter. If my demands are not met, me and millions of other women will delete their accounts. Okay. Did you know that if a restaurant messes up your order, you can simply say, oh, actually, I had so-and-so, instead of screaming at the 16-year-old employee, and they will still fix it for you? Oh, I can't wait for the day they get to tell you to go fuck yourself if you do scream at the 16-year-old employee. Are you serious? So after leaving the drive-thru today, I took my sandwich out of the bag, and we see this? Seriously? Oh, not today, not today. I went back to the restaurant, went inside already fuming, asked to speak to the manager, and then threw the sandwich on the counter. I asked him for an explanation. He looked confused, so I pointed at the writing on the sandwich and demanded that he tells me why someone felt the need to write it on my sandwich. He answered, because you ordered a BLT with cheese? To which I replied, oh. I really hope that you backed down on that one and went, whoops. But come on, someone there knew exactly what they were doing. No, I know plenty of people that work at Jimmy John's. They would not risk this. They know what's going on.